Hey, I'm Nate Dodson.
And I'm Jillian Sidoti, and crypto is the future. And this is why. I just want to make sure this big disclaimer that we're not financial advisors. What should people invest in? And then, I love crowdfunding deals. I love this, I love that, and then there's also, you still can buy annuities if you want to do something like that, which are guaranteed by insurance. We can kind of move it in that direction because I just worry that if we recommend, and I'm thinking out loud right now, I worry if we recommend like, you should just invest in real estate and crowdfunding deals. It's just a little too self-serving.
But I mean, it's not true. And that's not our goal either. Mm-mm. It is very similar. I love what we just talked about because I see what we're doing as, beneficial, but really the big benefit is on anybody that's watching and listening. It's about them, and nobody should put all their money into real estate and crowdfunding.
No,
that's a horrible idea.
Right.
That's financial advice. It is horrible to put all your eggs in one basket. I will give that financial advice all day long, every day.
So I shouldn't buy like 1 million Bitcoin.
Whoa. Now you're talking about Bitcoin. I'm still trying to figure out why Bitcoin is worth what it's currently worth at. And other than the fact that only 21 million Bitcoin units or whatever they're called are going to be issued, beyond that, I can't figure out why it's worth $20,000, $30,000.
Are you saying that you can't figure it out because of the fact that if it's not expandable, then it can't get into the hands of more people. And if it can't get into the hands of more people, then it's not really that worth much. It's not.
No, less than that. Supply and demand. Mm-hmm. The supply will be going down and dwindling because mm-hmm. there's only so many that can be mined.
Right.
So demand, if it stays where it's at, the prices will just increase.
Sure.
But for it to increase 1,000% over 5 years, there's something else at play.
Right.
And it's another fiat money. I see it as not very different than the dollar bill, except maybe being managed a little smarter by saying, this is how many we'll have versus the US dollar bill. This is how much we have until the government or the treasury decides to just print more.
Right. I mean, that's the thing is for me, I got an opportunity to invest in Bitcoin pretty early and I didn't take it because I didn't understand it. I do have a little bit of Bitcoin. It's not, it's not a lot. I think that there is a place for cryptocurrency for sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes sense to me. You have something that can go around the world without any influence by governments, right? Or hopefully without any influence. Yeah. So government wants to control everything, right? So they're gonna control it as much as possible. It might just be a matter of time until they completely get their hands on it. But
have I ever told you the goofy way I ended up with not a whole bunch, but I still have some Bitcoin?
Oh no, tell me.
Okay, well, I did the very classic route of I was gambling on sports with an offshore bookie, and I had to make a deposit with Bitcoin because you couldn't just transfer in US cash.
Okay.
And so I converted some money to Bitcoin. I transferred it all over, and then I completely forgot about it. I didn't even remember having the account. Mm-hmm. It was last year after the craziness started happening. It the light bulb just went off, and I'm like, oh, don't I have someplace?
That's crazy. So did you go and look? How much did you have?
I still have it's only 4. So it was when I did it and bought it, it was whatever, you don't even think about it. It was 4 Bitcoin worth a couple $100 each, whatever. Fast forward today, I'm like, yay! Complete surprise. It was awesome.
Crazy.
Yes. So anybody that says you're just going to lose money gambling on sports, That's not true, but the secret is you have to completely forget about it and not touch it. And then years later, you can get, wow, it all works out.
So Nate, what cryptocurrencies, if you were going to invest in cryptocurrencies, what cryptocurrencies would you recommend, if you recommend any at all?
Not financial advice. I don't recommend anything. However, I really like Ethereum, not for what Ethereum is, but actually what it does.
Yeah, I'm with you on this.
Yeah, so that's that. I see that as not just some fiat money that, hey, there's nothing behind it. It's not an ICO that says, well, we're really just funding this company operations and we're doing it as a token. But the token itself is actually utilized for something else. So NFTs, what is it, non-fungible tokens? Like they're all getting developed to work with and kind of use the Ethereum platform to keep up with all of these tokens. So I love Ethereum from the standpoint of it's actually doing something as a token, as a crypto itself.
Right, because you can build stuff on top of Ethereum. It's not just, there's a lot of, like, some of the coins out there are Ethereum-based coins. They're built on top of it. And then you can use Ethereum as part of the blockchain to keep track of everything. Like, I could see us using Ethereum as a voting system.
Completely. I don't understand why we don't, other than it be too accurate.
You're not better at all.
No, we don't need to go down any of those political.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I invested in a coin called Cardano, which is also built on Ethereum. And I invested in Cardano because they are using Cardano as a means to keep track of students in Africa right now. Like there's certain African, I don't know if it's municipalities or countries. I don't have enough information to speak about it clearly, but definitely in Africa, they're keeping track of students using Cardano. So I invested in that quite some time ago.
So is it like keeping up with students? Is it like their report card is now on the blockchain?
Yeah, just keeping track of them. And I think that makes a lot of sense because, or just where they are, because, here in the United States, you have, attendances and people, you're compelled to go to school at a certain age, right? And I don't think that's the same in certain countries in Africa. You're not compelled to go to school. So a student might just disappear, right? And not continue on, or maybe they go out and they have to work for their family and then they come back and things like that. So that's just a way for them to keep track of like where students are, who are they still in school, what are their grades, what have they accomplished, for sure, that kind of thing. I mean, it's easy in the United States to forget that there's a whole other world out there that has issues and problems, and technology, right? There's some other, I was watching a video a couple of years ago about sorry,
surprise.
I was watching a video several years ago about I think it was Zambia or Malawi. I can't remember which country it was, but there's some countries in Africa that are completely cashless, that they right now only use like phones to send money. And it's like literally flip phones and things like that. No one has cash anymore. As a matter of fact, ATMs don't even exist anymore. And I hope I'm right about saying that it was Zambia, because that they had so many issues with banks being robbed, ATMs being destroyed, counterfeit money. So
is it still like Zambian money? Did they issue their own electronic currency, like cryptocurrency? Or are they leveraging what you and I could invest into?
No, they still have what's called the Zambian kwacha. And again, I think I have the right country. If somebody wants to correct me in the comments, that I have it wrong. But they do still have their own currency. They hadn't changed to an electronic currency. It's just that no cash actually exists.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, this video had people who were like selling fruit on the road, and then the person would come and buy the fruit, and they would just use their phones to transfer funds.
Click.
Yeah, that's it. And you know whose video it was? It was this guy I used to watch on Facebook all the time. Oh God. Wow, Jillian, maybe you should come.
Not going to remember.
I can see his face, but he used to do these awesome videos where he would go around and give you like a minute of some kind of interesting world fact, and he would travel around the world showing you interesting things. And of course, I don't remember what it is now. So cut that whole part out.
Cut it all. Yeah. We didn't even know what Zambia is.
Yeah, exactly. Zambia. Yeah.
Oh, what do you see for the future of cryptocurrency? Do you think it's going to continue to grow and build? Do you think it's a fad, like the good old fashioned tulip bulbs?
I think it would be remiss for us to say that it's a fad when, Chase Bank and Goldman Sachs have trading desks specifically for crypto. I think we would be foolhardy to think that it's a fad. I also don't think it's a fad because, what we're seeing with inflation and, the dollar is becoming less and less powerful. And people are going to start gravitating towards cryptocurrency, and that gravitation is what's going to make it more stable. The other part of it is we're seeing adoption by some governments like El Salvador, and how they are adopting cryptocurrency as their national currency. And when you have something like that can be used worldwide and isn't pinned. So why doesn't the United States want cryptocurrency? Why would the United States specifically be compelled not to have cryptocurrency? It's because every other country, pays attention to what we do. Like, we on a daily basis do not pay attention to what the pound or the euro or the Australian dollar is doing, but they all do. All of them do. I remember when I went to South Africa, you could ask any person on the street what the US dollar was to the South African rand at any point in time, and every single person knew, because their currency is so influenced by what's happening in the dollar.
So what your opinion is the US government is almost like treating crypto like, I don't know, an infiltration that will hurt the dollar, thus hurt the US government or the US economy. So it's in their interest of keeping crypto minimal.
And then we have some other things like, I don't know if you've ever heard of a cryptocurrency called XRP, which was issued by a company called Ripple. And Ripple was sued in a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit by the Securities Exchange Commission for securities fraud, which didn't make a whole lot of sense and still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But I also have a particular disdain for the Securities Exchange Commission and the federal government in general.
That's a whole other story.
Yeah. But I find that case fascinating. I've been following it quite closely. And the people in power at the time at the Securities Exchange Commission, both the chairman and the chief legal counsel went on to get positions in Ethereum and Bitcoin based companies and law firms. So they had a particular interest in making sure XRP didn't make a big splash in the marketplace. Why do I like XRP? It's more environmentally friendly. There is no mining involved. It's faster. It's finite, but it's also, there's a lot of it. So, and it's inexpensive.
Can I ask you why I think the SEC has taken action? And please correct me or kind of clarify what's going on. But my assumption was Ripple developed XRP as really kind of a funding product where they released the XRP. They were taking the cash themselves to fund their business, where it was more like an investment, or it was more like revenue to the business based on some expectation from the buyers that the value would go up. Is that why there's this lawsuit?
I mean, there's a lot of, you can explore a couple of different reasons behind this. The thing is that the lawsuit itself was based on the fact that they committed securities fraud, and therefore what you're saying is there's some element of thought process there. I don't want to say truth, because I really don't know what the truth is. We haven't seen a lot of movement in the XRP case, except for, a lot of the SEC getting, kind of getting their butts handed to them, because a lot of these emails revealed that the SEC said that crypto wasn't in public forums, that crypto is not a security, that William Hinman was going to go and work for a law firm that represented Bitcoin and Ethereum, that the chief left, or the chief left, and he went right off to a One River, which was a hedge fund that held Bitcoin and Ethereum. It didn't look very good for them, but they did say, it wasn't the fact that they sold the XRP, but the way that they sold it. And one of the SEC commissioners is on record as to saying that is the reason why they've had that XRP has had such a problem, is because it's not the fact that they sold it, but Hester Pierce who is considered the grandmother or the mother of crypto as the commissioner, because she's been a champion of crypto at the SEC, but she has claimed that it's not the fact that they sold XRP, but the way they sold it, the way they advertised it, et cetera. I mean, I don't know. The truth is in there somewhere, right? And we'll see how it ends. And there's also reports that Ripple is considering an IPO once this lawsuit ends. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, I absolutely love it. 3 good suggestions for anybody that has an interest in the crypto market. What would you tell them?
For me, I think you want to look for crypto that does something. Bitcoin's good, but for me, you want to look at crypto that actually can do something. So Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, Soldano, and I've heard about Stellar, but I don't know enough about it. And also, again, I like XRP. I like the fact that it's environmentally friendly and that it doesn't require mining, and it's faster and cheaper, and all these things that make what we really want in crypto, because we want to get crypto in the hands of a lot of people. It's fun to make money in crypto. Do not get me wrong. Nate and I have both done it, but it's also better when we can all say, hey, this costs, X amount of XRP, or this costs X amount of Bitcoin. And that can be anywhere in the world, anywhere you go, fast and efficient and easy.
I love it. So my tips for anybody that's interested in crypto, number one, again, education. Know what you're doing before you go out there and invest anywhere. Because with the volatility, I mean, it's one thing to say, I'm investing. It's another thing when I'm investing and it crashed, because it does happen. Second thing, if you are looking to actually invest long-term versus trading is, they call it technical analysis, where you're looking at what's happening with the charts, what's happening day to day, and just trying to, clip little increases that may be from market movements. with that, it's technical analysis. With long-term investing, it's called fundamental analysis, which is one thing in the stock market. With crypto, there's not a lot of information. There's not price to earnings. There's not a lot of this stuff, but it comes down to knowing what you're investing into and what it's actually doing. Which, hop onto Coinbase, and I can tell you, nobody knows what 99% of those things are doing. The third advice is, well, we're not financial advisors, but stay diversified. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And as long as you do those things, it's a great little area to play around in. I don't think I would ever put my life savings there.
No.